Hello again, Ian Stokey with Mastermind Games, and going back to Blackstone Fortress with Taddeus the Purifier, Golden Skin 09092. I was originally going to give Tad a disturbing pallor, but decided against it at the last minute. But a Ministorum priest, Taddeus saw a vision in the death throes of a burning heretic, one that Pious Born herself actually burned, her first kill, in fact. His visions led him to the Blackstone Fortress, and he believes he is supposed to claim it for the Emperor. Now, there's apparently going to be a book coming out about it. The game came with a single chapter of it, and Taddeus is mentioned as being mad, as in insane. It's implied that he's been on Precipice also in that book for or not book, but chapter. Has been there for a while. Okay. Imperial Purple 09023. And not long after I came up with the idea of doing Pious Born in a white or an off-white, the idea popped into my head to paint Taddeus the Purifier like a pimp. I abandoned that idea, but at least partially, but purple would still be a very fitting color for him, so that's what I'm going with. We're going to get his flowing robes. Now for equipment, in the Warhammer rules, the 40k rules, he's got his power maul, a las pistol that's holstered here, and a servo stubber. His main function in Warhammer Quest, though, is healer, described as some kind of rousing speech that lets models remove wounds, though it doesn't specify grievous wounds, so I'm assuming it doesn't affect those. But regardless, that alone makes him valuable. Again, I haven't played it yet, and I won't until I've gotten all these models finished. But I can tell just looking at the rulebooks and mechanics, this could end up being a very tough, grueling game. Possibly even the board game equivalent of Battletoads. If you've never heard of that game, go look it up. There's several playthroughs of it, and apparently I've heard a remake of it is in the works. But back to 40k. Now, Taddeus is normally the kind who would frag any Xenos he saw on sight, but one of the first things broadcast out of Precipice is leave all animosities behind or be destroyed. The explorer who found the Blackstone Fortress and founded Precipice, building it from the ruins of those who had come before, realized the only way to keep the station alive and useful would be to open up to everybody, and I don't think he was wrong. And in this little snippet, even Janus Drake himself has mentioned that he had left most of his retinue behind, keeping them well away from the station and taking only a small ship and a small staff, most of whom he forced to stay on his ship so they wouldn't raise a ruckus. Let's see here. I think that's got his hat. There's some details here that are a bit indistinct. Is there anything else I can do right this second? I think one more. If I can find the right one. Here it is. Oiled leather 09110. Yeah, with his color scheme, he's definitely going to look like a self-serving priest with an overabundance of with an overinflated sense of self-importance. That's exactly what I am hoping to go for. And Taddeus' secret agenda. It's been a while since I went over his card, but it involves killing a rogue psyker. Can't remember if it specifies a specific weapon or not, but that's what he needs to do to get auto-inspired. And regarding Explorers, there's been an announcement out of Toy Fair about a new combat arena board game, mentioning that that it will serve as a prequel to Blackstone Fortress, and the characters would be playable. Also kind of implied that they might be available outside of this new game, so we'll see. But new Explorers, definitely something to add more to this game. The main reason I wanted Blackstone Fortress was actually because of an older game called Hero Quest, which Games Workshop partnered with, I think it was Milton Bradley to make, but my Hero Quest set got pulverized by my siblings, and while some components survive, most don't, and I just wanted something to kind of replace that, and Blackstone Fortress fit the bill quite nicely, in fact. Okay. No, let's do just up. Not quite done. Well, I want to do a little more right there. I wore this down too much. I want to get the holster for his last pistol. That was going to be a mess. I should have waited a bit before doing this, but oh well. I made my choice, I'm going to stick with it. Okay. Okay, that's good for now. We'll let that dry completely and then get some more colors down on him. Okay, well, things are dry enough I can move on. So, 09143, yellowed bone. Might be making a mistake here, might not. We'll find out. That Taddeus is covered in purity seals. Look at his servo skull stubber here. Or at least get started on it anyway. Now, the interesting detail here is the open page has a sculpted inquisitorial rosette here. And I don't know if that means Taddeus is a inquisitor just pretending to be a Storm priest, but we'll find out. I'm going to try to do something funky with the shading on this to make that stand out. Or rather, I have an idea for it. We'll see if it works out, because sometimes your best ideas don't always work out the way they think. Work out the way you think they will. Okay, now is that all the ivory? Yes. So now, old bronze 09197. Not too much of this, but I did want to use this as the primary color for his power maul. And we'll put a few in the ammo bucket, or the ammo box here for his servo stubber. And this bit around his neck, probably a voice amplifier. Make all those Ministorum sermons sound more impressive. Do the control panel back here. That's what this looks like. The bronze, but the rest of it's going to be a different color. I just realized I wasn't in camera for any of that. Gotta watch that, and then I want to do this section up front, which I may put lighting effects into. Alright, let's see where we at. Let's see. Okay. Stormy Gray 09088. Gonna do part. The servo skull's mechanism in this. Mostly the stubber here. So the stubber seems to be, and I haven't seen a whole lot of a description, some kind of analog to a firearm as we understand them today. Along the lines of a high quality assault rifle. Painting around the ammo box where I just put the bronze. That's pretty good. Let's see. And his last pistol's going to be in the same color scheme as well. So we'll just get that grip right there. Okay. Okay, in pretty good shape, so I'll go ahead and stop here, come back in a little bit. Is even recording still? Okay. Okay, that was weird. Getting an odd error message, but whatever. Let's just move on with Tarnished Steel 09206. Like Thaddeus, so this hand is clearly cybernetic, so Thaddeus has obviously seen more than his share of fights. Then I want to do this chain here for this trinket. I'll do this one as silver as well. There's a little skull. A little problem. Dang it. A little problem with my brush and no, I'm just gonna have to repaint that section before I start shading. That is what it is. And there's another item here. I'll go ahead and do in the silver as well. And then finish up on his servo skull. So this for me is verification that servo skulls can be armed. Okay. And 09050 antique gold. So where to start? Okay. Granted, I don't know much myself about the iconography of the Adeptus Ministorum, but I do know this is the symbol of an Imperial Inquisitor, so again, I have to wonder if Taddeus is being a little deceptive about who he really is, but we'll see what happens. More revelations come along in expansions and the book. If there's anything in that sealed sleeve, well, A, I don't want to hear about because I want to find out when I open it after playing the game properly, and B, I'll just see what happens when it happens. But it's interesting to think about that. What if Taddeus here is really not what he appears to be at first. Right. But then again, sometimes details appear in these models that don't seem to make sense. But one of those being in the Rogue Trader box set for Kill Team, which I've got, and that's coming up eventually. I don't know when, but talk about that when I come to it. Okay, that's a bookmark. And this sleeve is another point where I thought the arm was going to break when I tried to put it in there, so it didn't go quite flush. Can't explain it, so. Painting carefully around the bronze I did earlier. I just realized there's one bit of silver I missed. That is, he's got this little hose going up his nose from somewhere inside his armor. Life support? No, that's a good idea. We don't know how old Taddeus is. It's quite possible he's on some kind of long-term rejuvenant treatment to keep him his life longer than norm. Get the Aquila on his belt. Relic. Looks like an incense. Or I can't remember the censer. That's the name. Censer. There's definitely places on the purple I'm gonna have to touch up. I'll take care of that off camera. I know I was forgetting something. Okay. Now there is one more color. 09002 deep red. Purity seals. He's got a belt. I do that in the red as well. What little of it there's visible, anyway. I believe those are supposed to be suspenders to hold his armor down. And then bookmarks. Well, outside of some touch-ups on the purple base coat, so as soon as this is dry, I'll start shading. Time to shade. Starting off with red brick 09001. Gotta love it when there's a delay between the time I turn my camera on and the time it actually starts picking up audio. Again, it's just kind of strange. So. Well, that happened. A lot of paper towels here. And the purple will take care of that. Still before the bronze. Okay. Where is it? Ruddy leather 09109. See, sometimes I have an idea of what order I need to do these in, and sometimes when I actually start, the ideas I had will not pan out. You know, kind of one, you know what, I can't remember. I know there's a name for the holy text of the Imperial cult. I just can't think of what it is right now. I'll risk one more. But here, black 09037. Do a little work on his projectile weapons. And this one I'm thinning out more than usual. I was afraid this servo skull was going to break when I was assembling. So some of these pieces are kind of fragile. That's all I think I can safely do for the time being. Well, I think I can go ahead and risk doing the bronze as well. There's not much of that. So, aged pewter 09196. Did I? No, I didn't forget the wax of the purity seal on his back. I was just getting a little mixed up. Alright. Get this control panel. Power mall. is. I haven't decided yet if I want a lighting effect on that or not yet, but I'll get this speaker here. Going around to the back. Alright. I'll call that good for now and let that dry before moving on. Alright, the last layer is dry enough to work with, so Ancient Bronze 09049. It's fighting me a bit today. Oh, it'll get squared away. Let's try to keep myself in camera for this. It's likely I'll only be able to do the goal at this point, but that's okay. Just at that step of the process. Okay, well that went more easily than I thought it would, so okay. Lucked out on that. Okay. Now, can't really get any other color safely right this minute, so just gonna have to let that dry and move on a bit. So far, so good. Well, last layer is still not dry, but it's dry enough to work with, so Blackened Steel 09205. I realized I missed a spot on the bronze when I did that shading, so I touched it up off camera. It was on the ammo box for the servo stubber. In no particular order, they chain there. Cybernetic hand. There we go. I knew there was another thing on Taddeus himself. This trinket here. Got a little booger there. There's another trinket right behind there. Might have been. That might be supposed to be a pouch, but at this point I've moved on, so. all these wires on his servo skull. Okay, so that's going to leave the flesh. Oh, missed one little bit. And that's this nose hose here. So now that's just going to leave the purple, the leather, and the flesh tone, or the ivory, the purple, and the flesh tone. Should be able to get most of those simultaneously. Oh boy. That got covered up by the gold when I did that. Let's take care of that real quick. This is a deep red, or no, red brick. Go straight in with the shade color. This happens sometimes. So we'll just do that, and that's, we'll fix it as well as it's going to. Alright. The flesh, the ivory. I guess it's going to be 2 more takes before the shading's done. The flesh and the ivory in one, the purple on the last one. So we are getting there. So the true. Oh, come on, focus. Come on. We are getting there. Right, just 3 colors left to shade. Let's see. Or is it Golden Shadow 09091? That is not mixed correctly at all. That's better, okay. Like I said, when I was thinking about him, I originally had wanted to give him a more ghastly, unnatural looking pallor, but changed my mind about it. I was pulling paint out, so he gets to look a little more normal. Or as normal as he's ever going to look anyway. I should have expected that, okay. Let that excess out. And stained ivory 09142. So along with this bit right here, I'm going to take some water and just try to dilute that, see if that fixes that. It's kind of odd. But back to this Pewter seal parchments. And the skull. The pages in the book. Alright. And a bit of that got into the gold here, so blot that out. And I can get ready to do some lighting effects, so I can save time by working on that now. So pure white, 09039. Don't need very much of it. The eye on the skull. And I will go ahead and do lighting effects on this here. Get these openings there. And then this portion of the power wall. these doodads here on the back. That'll look okay. Alright. Okay, let that dries, then I can get the purple. Alright, next steps. I'm going to take Pure White again, 09039, and get his pupil, or not his pupils, his sclera, the whites of his eyes. I'm still not sure if that's the right word for that, but and since his T's are visible, I'll get those as well. And then Pure Black, 09037 again. Now this is my little experiment with this. It's a tiny dot rinsed out. I'm going to see if I can, or wash out to see if I can just get the outline only of that rosette, so that's not working well. Okay. Well, plan A obviously didn't work, so we'll see if this little experiment works in the end or not. Nightshade Purple, 09022. I'm trying to be careful so I don't accidentally nick his flesh tone while I'm doing this. Okay, well, lucked out so far. Purple to that rosette. There, this is not turning out like I had hoped. I thought that was a much deeper indentation on the book. I might have to rethink that completely, but I'm not going to worry about right this second. I'm just going to finish up the purple here. And I saw the layer on his robes down there. That takes care of shading. Once that dries, I can start highlighting and go from there. Well, nope, I'm forgetting. I've got cybernetics to do. So, Ruby Red 09101, I can go ahead and do this. Or I can do this if my paint cooperates. There we go. Turn that out a little more than usual. And fill in the eye. Maybe tickle it out. Get the... I'm just going to use this on all the glowy bits. And then on the eye a bit so some of the white goes through. And okay. Yeah, I'm not satisfied with this. Well, I can add details to it later. Rework it a bit, so... Oh, come on, play nice. Is this thing recording? Hard to tell. Alright, well, we're coming along there. Alright, that took longer than expected, but it's finally dry. So, golden highlight 09093. So I was really dissatisfied with how the iconography on that book turned out. So I redid it with blood red and new gold. Actually, before I do the skin highlight, I need to get his pupils with pure black. Which is, shoot, 09037 is pure black. So we'll see, I might tweak this a little more, but for now, let's just worry about getting the highlighting done. So there's his eyes. Now, dry brushing on golden highlight. Okay, next I'm going to do Amethyst Purple 09024. Oh, now let's get the gun barrel on the stub right here. Hopefully I don't forget anything else while I'm working on this. Not forgetting his hat. And since I'm trying to keep this channel family friendly, I won't repeat the jokes from it. The Emperor had a text-to-speech device about what the hat looks like. So how about next yellow, or no, creamy ivory 09144. And I'm basically swapping brushes after every color. Try taking that pure black and just tracing carefully the outline of the eye. That worked out better than expected. I'll still add some gold to it when I'm done. Oh, and speaking of, that seems like a good a choice as any for the next color I do. So new gold 09051. Which has already been mentioned since I used it on the book to try to make that look better. And that's bringing all those swirls in the hat nicely. I just realized I forgot to do any coloration on the buttons back there. You know what? They can be white. That's fine. The corners of the book there. Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna take the pure black and just do the entirety of that eye. That looks better. I'll touch up the red too in a bit. Now, that's the new gold. Let's do the steel next, I think. Yeah, steel next. So true silver 09207. Get his nose wire. Alright, that's not working out so good. Let's try a little more straight paint. That's a little better. Yeah, this skull is flexing quite a bit as I do this, so it was definitely right to be nervous about that. And get his metal hand here. Okay, any other steel? Yeah, the thing there. Okay. Let's see, where is it? Cloudy Gray 09089. last pistol. Gets his servo stubber finished up. Take a little that pure black again. Just get it in here, like the ejection slot for spent cartridges. And next. How about Tarnished Brass 09198? Let's do a little bit of that right there. Chest. Box. That part there, and of course his power maul. Okay. Let's see, gold. It's going really well. Just realized one bit of gold I missed. It's on this bookmark right there. Burnt orange 09111. Got some boots and pouches to deal with. And blood red 09003. Not too much of that either, but I'm going to go ahead and touch up the starburst around the eye. His tome. Wax, bookmark. I just realized, the bookmark. I realized I forgot to get the leather on the book, so that'll be easy to fix. Let's take that blood red again. Or no, not the blood red. The burnt orange. Okay. Yeah, that actually gets all the highlighting. So I'm just going to take pure black and a fine brush, and the brush will cooperate at any rate. Get some writing on the purity seals. And the text in the book here. Okay. Alright. Now switching over to a flathead brush. I seem to have lost the one. Oh no, never mind. Found the one I used on the last model. Just clean up the base there. And now that has to dry completely, then I can get the talus on it. Alright, time to get the base material on. So, getting a brush. I still have that glue solution from earlier mixed up. It's... well, this is no good. It's all gummy. So, start... Oh, great. Glue's in another room. Be right back. Normally, I would just cut that part out, but I just don't feel like it right this second. So we'll mix up some new glue solution since that other one's kind of gone gummy. So plenty of white glue. And where's my eyedropper? Generous amount of water. It's all up there. And just paint it on and around the feet. Alright, that's okay. Taking a dry brush. Pushing that away from areas you don't want it. Alright, now that just needs to sit for a bit before I seal it, but looking sharp. Alright, time to finish up. Liquid adhesive here. Eyedropper, glass. And carefully drip it around the base. Need to give this material time to set first, otherwise this will just push sand, talus, flock, whatever around and just leave holes. So, okay, and that's it. Taddeus the Purifier in all his Imperial glory. Continuing on with the explorers of Blackstone Fortress. Until next time, I am Ian Stuckey with Mastermind Games, signing out.